So what is she talking about? As father said, somebody when they spoke about mental health, amka pisha lagu na. So a lot of curiosity is there, of course, because this is a trending issue nowadays. A lot of us are facing it. We don't know exactly what is mental health, and when we talk about mental health only it is negative, it can be positive also. Is it? Yes or no? Yes. So when ages back when I thought of doing something in psychology, Baba, size pe mat jana, I look young, but I'm of that generation when there was no gadget. So when I was in 2000, I was doing my 10th standard and there was a question mark of what to do next, and I chose this subject called psychology. People said, are you gone mad? Tuka pisha lagtale. You'll need help. So because nobody was aware what is psychology, what is mental health, right? Till date people are struggling to understand. What is psychology? Anybody can help me other than my students? What is psychology? Youngsters, have you heard this term, psychology? This is a subject, right, in high secondary, in colleges. What is it? What is it? What do you think? What is psychology? Understanding human nature, behavior, attitude. Now, how do we understand? We are magicians. Experiments, okay. So, our subject is who? Human beings. Now, to understand human beings' mind, I still remember when I was coming from Bicholim to Xavier's College, and we had those big fat books in our hands of psychology. So, especially boys used to never come close to me. Why? Because Ketki can read mind. Can we read mind? So, what do you think? Can I read your mind? Yes? Okay. Let's ask a youngster. Do you think I can read your mind? Yes? Okay. Ma'am, what do you feel? Can I read your mind? Yes? He's saying I can read your mind. What's your name? Yes? Karen, can I read your mind? Karen is saying yes, and she's biting her nails. No, I cannot read your mind, but what I can read is, if I want to read your mind, what I have to read is your body. Body language, eye contact, gestures, yes, facial expressions, because what is happening inside can be seen outside, isn't it? So somebody who's biting nails too often. Yesterday I was there for an event for my friend's wedding. So one of the, from groom side, one chap came and said, oh, you're a psychologist, nice to know, and they started talking to me. So I saw his nails. We are very observant, So I saw his nails, and his nails were half of the size it has to be. So I asked him, do you bite your nails? He said, yes. So do you have, I think you have anxiety. So he said, yes, how did you come to know? Because that's a sign, right? So there are a lot of signs and symptoms to understand a human being. So today in this session, it's more about introspection of understanding what is mental health. How can I understand myself more so that I can help and understand also somebody else, isn't it or not? We also, when we are getting trained now, even these students who are getting trained as counselors tomorrow, ask them, they are first trained to understand themselves. Because bhai, agar you are not able to understand yourself, then how are you able to understand somebody? Right? Yes. रडना का सगळे सारखे जातले. But रडपा येता काय ना? येता. तुका सांगपाक कितें रडना का भोगता हांव. Yes or no? Now what we learn in psychology, there is a difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy means you feel sorry for the person, ni kakut babdechi. So when if you come and tell me your problem, that yes, Ketki, have this problem, I say, are re, babde ga, kakut tuji. So what happens to you? What happens? What happens to the person who's suffering? Feels more sad, no? I'm the only one in this planet who's having problems. Reality, we all have problems. Correct? So now we never sympathize. What we have to do is empathize. Empathize is understanding, yes, you're going through it. Of course, it's difficult for me to understand what you're going through, but I'll be there for you. That's empathy. Yes? Now let's understand what is mental health. Mental health is connected to body and to mind. So what do you think is mental health? What is mental health? Why today people are talking about it? Why across the country, across the globe, people are giving importance to mental health today? In fact, just now I showed an article which came from Dr. Harish Shetty. He is one of the renowned psychiatrists of India. He is based in Mumbai and is also a celebrity psychiatrist. He gave an article today and announced that there has to be a need of mental health minister in India. The next pandemic that is coming up, research has shown this next pandemic is a mental health pandemic. It's need of the hour that we talk about our feelings, our emotions, and give time to ourselves. Today we have time for ourselves. Second half of the session, I'll be telling you fantastic ways to understand your mind. But then at the end, you know, the general response of people, ma'am, तुमका सांगपाक कितें आमकां टायमूच मेळना. I always tell people, time मेळना. Time मेळटा? What do you think, uncle? You time मेळटा? ना. Time काडचो पडटा. दोतोरा कडेन गेलें, दोतोर medicines दिता. What will happen? If you skip the medicines, next time you go, doctor will shout at you. हांवें दिल्लें, म्हजें काम केल्लें, तुवें घेवना. That's your problem. So same way, mental health also, we will tell you what to do. Unless you do it, there will be no change. Then you can't go and tell the counselor or the psychologist, I came to you, काय गावना मरे एका सेशनान? Because you are not magicians, right? We will guide you. You have to apply and do it. Let's do it. Let's promise everyone today that first I will focus on my mental health, because we all are here who is somebody's father, somebody's mother, somebody's brother, somebody's sister, somebody's daughter and somebody's son, and I'm also a citizen of this country. If I am taking care of myself, I'll be able to take care of 10 more people around me. Agree or not? Yes. Otherwise, हांव सकाळी उठ्ठा, आवय गे वचपाकूच जाय कामां. मामा इस्कॉलाक वचूं? आसूं गे वाज येता. No, but this happens. Why? Because we are not focusing on exactly what our body and our mind is needing. So let's start. Mental health. What is the definition according to mental health? WHO, World Health Organization. Mental health is when you realize your own capacity, what you can do, what you can't do, how do you understand your body, the normal stressors and normal challenges of life, right? We all have challenges every day. Now, even now, right now, before coming here, there was one more student of mine who was accompanying me. Unfortunately, just last minute, half an hour before the coming here, she messaged me that one of her colleagues met with an accident on highway, Perenam highway, and she is injured and she is accompanying her in the hospital. Last minute thing, a stressor? Yes. So we have to deal with the small stressors in life? Yes. So let's understand and let's be very frank and clear with each other. How much we pretend to be great, we all have problems and we'll all have problems till we are in the grave. Am I right or wrong? Yes. I remember when I was a child, my mother used to always say, "Bhurgi shikung jai, tension, don't choli asa, shikpak jai." Ami dogai shikli. My sister became CA, I became psychologist. Then tension, job मेळपाक जाय, settle in career. Then third tension, काजार जावपाक जाय, काजार जाली. मागीर भुरगीं जावपाक जाय, दोगांयकूय भुरगीं जाली. आतां टेन्शन, त्या नातींचें काजार पळोवपाक मेळटलें. So that means our worries never ends. The beauty of mental health is, even in these worries, how do you enjoy that? Agree? Agree or not? Yes. So there's something called as eustress and there's something called as de-stress. Eustress is a little bit of stress needed, no? Then it gives you motivation. Agree or not? Yes. But when that stress goes beyond limit, you can't get up from your bed, you can't do well in life, it hampers you in your personal and professional life. That's the concern. That's where your mental health is not going right. Are we hearing a lot of mental health issues today and people are talking about mental illness? Now let's understand mental health is where you take care of your emotions, you are aware about your emotions, you are aware about your feelings, and you talk about it in a positive way. So sometimes, for example, I'm normally a very enthusiastic person, but if today you're feeling very low, you don't know why. Nothing happened, no major thing happened, but you're feeling low. Possible? Yes, possible, because ma'am is a human being. On top of that, she's a woman. There are hormonal changes. So a chemical low charge keep on happening. Correct or not? So once in a while, if I'm feeling low, that's absolutely okay. Nothing weird has happened to you, because you're a human being. Am I right? Yes. Sir is constantly taking pressure of household things for years together, managing work-life balance, and then one fine day he gets burnout. Can that happen to you, sir? Absolutely, fantastically fine, I agree, happens. By mental health issues, everybody will have. It doesn't mean that you have to go to a psychiatrist only and that means you're mad. Sometimes even I, being a psychologist, feel low. One day I dropped my daughter to school and coming home I was feeling low. And I had full piled up day programs constantly, back to back. What do we do in the morning? Do in morning? One thing in morning. What is that? Tell me frankly. We check our phones, the battery, and put it for charging. Kirya? Sabandis yo naka? Yes or no? So same way, what we have to do is we have to charge our batteries if we know our battery has to be drained for the whole day. So now when that day I felt low and I knew how to charge my battery, I am into meditation a lot. So I went, I said for some time, I take half an hour break, I introspected things, I gave myself time, I charged my battery and I was back on track. Can happen? Yes, we all are human beings, we'll all have those roller coaster of emotions. The most important thing in mental health is awareness. What? Awareness. Like right now, if you're sitting like this, I have to be, nothing wrong in it, I have to be aware about my body. Body and mind is interconnected. Have you heard this term psychosomatic? Yes? What is psycho? Psycho is mind. Somatic is body. So body has a connection with mind. Suppose if, ma'am, you're going to the doctor, you did every test and doctor says, Kai na bai tuka tension geta. Every doctor is saying that. Headache, no, nothing diagnosed. Only tension, tension, tension. So now it's time for you to sit with yourself and ask, where is that stress coming from? Because majority of the stress is not external, it is internal. Agree? Yes. One thing happened. Suppose me and ma'am had an argument a month back. Okay? What do? Every time when I think of ma'am, that cycle gets repeated. Yes or no? And every time I'm giving that pain to myself. She said this to me, she said that to me. I'm going to show her next time what does she think about herself. And then whole chemical locha again starts in the brain and body. Agree or not? Yes. So that situation happened, finished. We are repeating here and that's why we are getting more stress. So mental health doesn't only mean you have schizophrenia. Mental health issues doesn't mean you have personality disorder. Mental health doesn't mean you need to be in depression. That comes later. Of course, that's a major concern today. But it starts with, I'm feeling low and I think I need to talk about it. I always tell in all my interviews and sessions, being a psychologist, practicing for the last 15 years, I once in a year go to my professors and guru who helps me to understand, am I going in the right way? Is there something I need to work on myself because I am also a human being and I have my own things to talk about. Right? Yes. So let's understand this, that all of us sitting over here need to freely talk about our emotions. Now when we talk about mental illness, now what is the difference on how to understand? When a person is not able to do work on a regular basis, if you see a person is very enthusiastic or normally is a very outgoing person, he suddenly isolates himself. He is locking himself in the room, he doesn't talk to anybody, or there is change in behavior, you find something weird in that person, that's an alarming stage for you to understand something is wrong. Today's youth especially, they lock themselves in the room and they're sitting in the room on the gadget. Am I right, youngsters? Mama, come on, yeah, give me a break, yeah. Don't interfere, that's my space, you see. Yes or no? These are words. Don't poke your nose in everything, no? Why do you need to know about it? Why do you need my password? Agree? Yes, and then parents will be, hey, maka shanpa shiketa. There's a generation gap. Yes or no? Yes. It will happen. Yes. I say to my daughter, "Amay amcha zamanan ami bari shaitan खेळटाली." आता तांकां बावड्यांक शेतूच नाल्यार ती कितें करतली? Agree or not? Yes. They will say, शेत हाडून दी, आमी खेळटा. I can't arrange शेत now. But I have to arrange something else which can be better for her. Correct, youngsters? We all are occupied in gadgets today, and we see what is happening online is reality. Now, just now I got a message from my counselor friend that Ketki, there is a cyberbullying case happening. Somebody has put a video and making it viral, which is a nude video of some other girl. And it's a crime, no? Today youngsters are not realizing what they are doing online. And that's again creating more mental health issues among people now. So let's understand this. This is a beginning session. Of course, we'll be having more things in future as things go ahead. But I want you all to understand this. The moment I take this, I don't need help. Boss, you go there, fail. We all need help. Yes? We all need help. We all need to talk about it because we all are human beings and we all have emotions. Because I deal from 5-year-old child to a 70-year-old guy or a 70-year-old man or a woman. You know, I'll tell you one thing, especially the youngsters who are sitting here. Take every step in a right way or take help if you're not taking. You know why? Because when you reach at 70, 75 and when I talk to geriatric patients and clients of mine who are retired and have ended their life and at the old age couch and they're sitting there and relaxing, you know, majority of them, what do they tell me? What do you think? What do they tell me at this age of 70, 75 and 80 when they're about to go back? Yes? Regrets. And do you know what is the major regret? Anybody? Do you know what is the major regret that they have? Yes. भाई सबके लिए सब कुछ किया, खुद के लिए कुछ भी नहीं किया. I played role of a son, mother, father, daughter, husband, everything. But I did not give myself enough time to understand I had to leave this life. I was always under a pressure and I never spoke about myself. So it's time for us to sit. Sit and understand this, that I need to love myself, then only I'll be loving somebody purely. Agree? That's what we come in church and Jeju teaches us, self-love. And that's how we are giving love to everybody. Agree or not? Yes. So let's take this beautifully. Now, when we talk about certain things in mental health, we have to understand first thing is the first prominent question there. How am I feeling today? Feeling? If we go back to this slide, now let's check mental health illness slide. What is the illness slide telling you? If you focus, see the slide, if you can't see it down, the first picture talks about thinking, thoughts. The second tells you about how am I feeling. Thinking and feeling are different, and how do I behave. Now I'll give you a perfect example. Today, we all know what is the situation in Porvorim. Agree? Yes. So there is a new bypass road coming up and it's for our comfort only. Same situation was there 2 years back in Kortalam. South people were having a problem. Right? And for those 2 years, everybody was blaming everybody and the government was getting blamed and everything. But today they say, "Awe 15 minutes mare Madagavan ponje zik karun." But when it was going on, there was a lot of negativity happening there. Same thing today happening in Porvorim. All mess. We have to take the internal route, still there is mess everywhere. Now, the moment I know I'm a daily traveler from this end to that end and I know the situation, I know there is a mess there. What do I do still? The moment I'm in the traffic, what do I do, ma'am? I'm driving. What do I do? First is curse. Whom? Of course. The public starts cursing the government or maybe whoever it is. And then there will be honking going on. Mage 4 jan, what's re, huilan chal. Agree? Because everybody today is so frustrated in their life, they don't have patience, and even if they can see the situation, still they want to honk. They're so tuned, conditioned by mind. And then there's arguments, there is quarrels, and these days news we can see everywhere. Now the moment I know that the routine is same, instead of 15 minutes, now it will take 45 minutes to go to Panjim from Mapsa. I have to tune myself, so my thinking will be connected to my feeling, and then my behavior will be, why this is a daily cutting, what is the point in honking? Everybody is in the same situation. Unless he goes, then I will only able to go. So I should even honk. Right? Yes. So we have a therapeutic approach to it which is called as REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy. When your thoughts are rational, you feel rational and you behave rational. It starts in your mind, not outside. Getting my point? I always say this to people, never give your key to somebody else. Now I parked my car down, I have kept my key there and I know it's safe and secured. I'm not giving my key to anybody to drive. Same way, my key, I should not give it to somebody else. Now for example, Kiara had an argument with her mother, suppose, before coming here. Okay, and she is already frustrated and angry. Now she is here and so for some reason she is instigating me and trying to have an argument with me. Now if I am giving my key to her, what am I doing? How dare you to talk to me like that? Correct? So what is happening is her thing is getting onto me and I am giving my key that you lagao chabi, I will get angry. But the moment I understand my mental health, that my emotions, my behavior are not her responsibility and her emotions and her behavior are not my responsibility, how much she gets angry on me, I will not overreact. So there is a difference between reaction and response. Agree? Reaction and response. So when these youngsters, when your parents comes to you and say something to you, not respond. So if your kitlo hogo jalare the phone ar mela tu utre macho jore happens in every house. Yes, see mama says yes, because it's a scene in every house. So that point of time I should not react. Tu jore maka kira khata takli maka jopacha na. Instead if I take a pause and I think मम्मा नेका डाडा जोपा किऱ्याक आपयता हांवें जेवल्यार तांचें पोट भरता ना म्हजेंच पोट भरतलें म्हज्याच खातीर तें आपयता. So the response helps you to think. Am I right? Yes. So let's see what am I feeling. Now if you want to understand mental health, become aware about your feeling. Now the mantra, the first question, as psychologists we get trained. What am I feeling right now? After every half an hour, you have to ask this question to yourself. That what am I feeling right now? Let's ask. Give me a feeling word, okay? What are you feeling right now? Okay, there's no good and bad emotion. Now elaborate. Give it a proper word. Come on. Like happy, sad, angry, upset, agitated. Happy. Ma'am? So? Relax. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Curious. Right? Yes, you black t-shirt. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Yes. Feeling word, come on. It's your feeling, yes. Excited. Okay, now, the most important thing is you have to become aware about your feeling. Even if you're upset, even if you're angry, you're sad, you need to become aware. Because when you're aware, you know, bhai ye kyun ho raha hai? Why is it happening? And then you are able to work on it. Let me show you something. Can you see this? Go on Google. You'll get a nice feeling wheel. Because for us, even as adults, becomes very, very difficult for us to understand feelings. Normally people tell me, no, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling bad, that's it. No, there is a feeling wheel which gives you a whole perspective about different feelings and different emotions. So my feelings are my feelings. I am not responsible for somebody or somebody is not responsible for me. So if I had some stress at work and I come home and my daughter comes and she wants to talk to me, Mama, she comes and she hugs me. If I'm aware that I had an argument with a colleague for some reason, I'll come home and I'll not take that irritation on a daughter who's waiting for me for the whole day after a hectic day and she wants to spend time with me. I'm aware that emotion is different and a mother's role is different. But 80% of the time what we do, भाईली frustration ना, घराने येतात, what काय तकली खाना काय? Agree or not? Yes. So emotional intelligence, we have to understand our emotions very, very well. Recognize your emotions at that point of time. If it is in your nature, work on it. Everything is possible. What I'm telling you today, I have tried and tested everything on me and everything is possible. Some of you are a parent, I'm also a parent. Some of you are working people, I'm also working people. Work-life balance, I'm also doing it. I'm also a human being, I'm not God. Only thing is, I have little extra understanding of mental health, that's it. Which I'm sharing it to you all. And I'm with you to help you to understand this journey. Because every moment should be a special moment in your life. Because they say, this birth, you get it when you're blessed as a human being, isn't it? So let's make a good use of it. Okay, here I need some help from my team. We all are aware about some myths. Myths in the sense, the blockages. People have certain things about mental health. Okay, so if we'll see if they can volunteer, if not, if they want to write and give it to us. What are the myths according to you of mental health? Or taboos that we know about mental health? Yes? Anybody want to write and pass it on? We have a sheet of paper. You all can go and give if there is anybody helping us to share. Like for example, if I come and tell you, you need to go and talk to the counselor, will you be open? She's taking time. Answer. Why are you taking so much time? बोल रही है बकवास. Yes, anybody who wants to tell, don't want to speak but write and share it to us, please. Yes, am I mad? When we were small, we had a nice, full form of mad, my adorable darling. So now you choose which mad are you, this mad or that mad. Now mad, do really people only when they are mad to a psychiatrist or a psychologist? When I said to you that you need to go to a counselor. What's your name? Rachel. Didn't you agree? What are you? What? Masters? Then? MBA. Oh, being an MBA student, she's still reluctant about mental health and talking about her life. Becomes difficult? What is the block that is there in you about yourself? Like about counseling or going to an expert and talking about your mental health? Okay, still you feel that nahi bhai mujhko nahi chahiye. Fine, like I would like to go if I am insisted to go. Okay, how many of school students are there? You all are studying in school? First year college? Okay. See, many schools and institutes today have counselors schools because government thought that today youngsters need to talk to somebody other than their teachers and parents. Because sometimes they don't want to talk to teachers because they might discuss in the staff room, or they can't go and tell the parent because a parent will be a typical parent, right? So they want to talk to our counselors, but many of the counselors still tell us youngsters are not approaching girls, at least not. If I talk about emotions, women will talk a lot about their emotions, but if I only sit with men, very few men will talk about emotions. Yes? Why? Because men are trained, but don't talk about your emotions. Are we trained like that? Yes, the moment boys are told, do not express your emotions. Ame pollo ratta, chedudu rattata. And this is first instant reaction of the parents. Correct or not? So we are telling the boys, do not express the emotions. You have to be strong. Come on, you're a man. And that's why after a particular age, men goes through a lot of emotional issues, but they don't talk about it. And then it comes out in two ways. One is frustration, which leads to anger and violence. Second, it is some addictions somewhere. Because it is not being channelized in the right time. Yes? So that's why we have to make it very comfortable. Still we are qualified and still we know about mental health today. It is need of the hour. What happened in COVID? What happened in COVID? We all were at home. We all got frustrated being in the four walls because we were not used to it. And I was not used to staying with my family for 24/7. भाई उठो उसका मुंह देखो, सोते हुए उसका मुंह देखो, catch कुछ. And then anxiety level, because we see only on the news, why? What? So many deaths, so many deaths, so many deaths. I got so many clients having anxiety attacks in the washrooms. So many cases of anxiety attacks, people gone in the washroom, they're feeling breathless, no symptoms of COVID but panic attack. Why? Because people were getting worked up, right? And because they were not aware that it can play psychologically also in my mind. Now today's youth, what is happening is, forget about youth, even us as adults, are we addicted to gadget? Yes. Now ours is a generation where our childhood was without gadget. But be very frank, ma'am and sirs, tell me, can we sit for 5 minutes back without anything? The moment, yes, if some of them, hats off to you. Because I've seen adults sitting, the moment they are idle and nothing to do. Yes or no? Yes. And so if you're doing it, really amazing. Yes, absolutely. Our Indian context is, you can go to any doctor, that's fine, for physical issues. But if you're going to a psychiatrist or a counselor, forget about psychiatrist, dur ki baat hai, even to a counselor, people will, kiti dale to? There will be a lot of relatives, neighbors, even in college your friends, are you okay? You had to seek a counseling session. You know, that's the taboo, sir, and that's what we are promoting today. That's why telling people that even being a psychologist, when I was having my own daughter and I was in the phase when my daughter was born, I was in a postpartum phase, I needed my guru's help because I felt that point of time my hormonal balances were taking a toll on my mind, and I knew and I was aware about it, and I sought help from my professionals. Is it important? Yes. Daughter doesn't get a heart attack. Why are we still into that, fixated into those things, that these are natural things and it will happen? So whichever expert you are, it's okay. Yes. And it's emotions, and let's talk about that emotions so openly. So if we sit in the group in the evening in the garden, so if I say, "Aiz nago tukli samki jod dala tension aila," and then I go to somebody else, "Ye taka more tension asa kosle dana." We're good at doing that, but rather than asking her what is the stress and how can I help you? Yes. The curiosity is what is happening in somebody else's house. But the curiosity is not what is happening in my house and how I contribute to it. And then we talk about humanity. Monish punut mela. So, as sir said, when we talk about counseling, we first have to, fantastica, you're going to a counselor. Because it's nice. The way, when I feel sad, we all come to church or we go to temple and we do prayers. No? Sometimes when we feel overmuch and we want to share with God, do we do that? Yes. It's same. That the way we go to in a temple or a church and we feel good. When I'm getting a headache or a back pain and I need to seek to go to a doctor, if I'm emotionally feeling weak and I don't know what's happening to me, I'm going to a counselor. That's it. So it starts from our house. Now, if you want to change the society, who is the society? We. So if I feel in my house anybody needs help, I should be the first person to tell, I think I'll come with you, let's go to a counselor. Yes. So even when I started my NGO, my team I told that talk about mental health issues first among yourself. You all should be aware as a team what is happening to you. Then only you will be able to go and tell people that yes, I have gone for counseling and it helped me, and then now you need to go and talk about your mental health issues to people. And as I said, mental health issue doesn't mean that I'm mad. Mental health issues means I am feeling low today, I am overthinking, neend nahi aa rahi hai. Lot of people having a sleep problem today. They'll sleep first of all at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, then again that will be not sound sleep. They'll wake up again at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, then bhai hai na Insta. Going on Insta, scrolling the reels, and then sleeping in the morning. And then they come to us, na nidut येऊ ना. Nidut है ना madam, किती करू मागीर Instaचेर वता. न्हीद कित्याक येना? Again, sleep is one of the major reasons for mental health issues. Sleep deprivation leads to mental health issues. It's all interconnected. So that's why, coming to basics, emotions. Now let's ask again, ma'am, what are you feeling right now? Peaceful. Ma'am? Okay, that's a thought. Right, what we'll talk next is a thought. Understood? So it's a thought. Now what is the feeling to it? Yes. See, for us it's difficult because we have never given time and focused on this part of it. So it's important to sit with ourselves and ask ourselves after every half an hour, what am I feeling right now? Some youngsters comes to me for counseling and they say, ma'am, I get angry.
Say what they are saying because we don't know what they have said.
Okay. Yes. So ma'am said that she is, what was your thought, ma'am, just now? Because he said to repeat what you said, people behind can't hear you. What was your thought? Yes, so what I'll speak next was the thought. Okay, now I'm telling ma'am to emotionally connect to it. What was the emotion attached to that thought? So maybe curiosity. Are you getting me? So thought has to be connected to the emotions. Now a lot of youngsters are getting angry, and that anger is going such that they're hating their parents today. Yes? They're getting violent, aggressive, breaking their phones, breaking TVs, getting violent on their parent. I had a case where a 7th standard boy, since the mother took the phone from the child because he was too much for almost 3 hours on the phone and not giving the phone, the boy took the sofa and made it upside down and banged the mother's head on the wall. A 7th standard boy. What is the problem? Where is the problem? What do you think? Youngsters, what do you think? What is the problem here? Addiction of mobile. Okay. What adults think? What is the problem? Frustrations. Frustrations can be for many reasons. According to the ages, yes, every age has their own frustrations. Do you know that young pre-primary students today are having high rate of anxiety? Pre-primary and primary level students. In fact, me and my student Joyce, we had planned a research on it, because today I see a lot of young, from 1st standard to 4th standard, I'm getting cases where they're getting anxiety of going to school. Or maybe for some anxiety, they don't want to do their routine work. Why? We feel, no, what a 5-year-old or 8-year-old will have a stress. आमच्या टायमार आम्ही लॉलीपॉप खाताली मजा करताली. What do they have stress? Do you think they don't have stress? Yes, the most amount of stress among those kids, because the exposure that they're getting online, sadly very dangerous for the young mind. And माझा बाबा जेवना, फोन दिल्यारूच जेवता. Agree? Yes. म्हाका कामा बल्ल्या म्हणून फोन दिले आनी हांव किचनान गेले. मागीर तो गेलो पांय कडे. डाडा 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 दादा म्हणा राव रे घे पे होगी बस फोन तकली होना का खराब पूरा दाना आला एक तरह. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's happening in every houses? Yes. Communication gap is one of the major reasons again today for mental health issues. Earlier, everybody used to sit and have conversations, isn't it? Yes. Now, पाशियास ना आमकां एक तर आणि दुसरें ऑनलायन इंटरेस्टिंग गोष्टी चल्ल्या न्ही 4 जाण चॅट करता 2 कोण तरी गेमी खेळटा आणि कोण फ्रेंडां रील धाडटा सो दॅट्स मोर इंटरेस्टिंग स्टफ ऑनलायन दॅन ऑफलायन सो दॅट्स वाय व्हेन मम्मा सेज बाय आयक गो आयज मगो खूबच दीस जाले पांय दुखता ना हांव कितें करूं तुजे पांय दुखता जाल्यार द डॉटर रिएक्ट्स बट द डॉटर नेवर आस्क्ड द मदर मम्मा इज एवरीथिंग फायन आर यू एजिंग because we all know after 40-45 women go through menopause and no mother talks about menopause and mental health issues to their child. As a daughter and son, I need to be aware. Is it important? Yes, again. I remember when my dad used to come from work, I used to go running and give him a glass of water. Papa puro जावन आयला मम्मा सांगताली ओगी राव तशें कितेंय मागू नाका करूं नाका बोवा टेंशनान आसता तो yes or no? So he used to get trained that dada has come home, you have to give him peace, give him water, relax him because garmin ayla ni thond karpa jayanga. But now the mother only will go to the husband and say shita takani kire tari jay te diya nale majo takli khatlo to. So the parenting style also have changed, no? The whole attention is to the child now. Now the child knows my rules. If I do something, they will do it for me because I know how to, they know parent psychology so well. If mama doesn't agree, they'll go to dada and dada and mama doesn't get along together. या dada जेवा माझ्या भुरग्यां हांव कितें दितलो म्हाका मेवना म्हाका ताका दिवपा जाय. So that advantage is taken by the child. Yes or no again? Yes. So for all this we want a solution. The first solution is sit with yourself and understand yourself well. Then you will play all these roles fantastically well. Let's do it. So that was the first myth that we spoke about, you know, that sometimes we want to go, but the societal thing that you are mad, you go to a counselor or you should not, you know, mental health taboo. The next taboo, you know what it is? When people come for counseling, my counseling students should tell you, what you feel is the second myth according to you all? You all are practicing now, no? You all are going in field. What is the second myth of counseling or mental health? Judgment of? Okay. That comes under this judgment of society. What else? As counselors, you all feel a challenge. No? Okay. The second the taboo is, if I go to a counselor, the moment I go in the center or clinic, I talk for 1 hour because our session normally goes for an hour. The moment I'm out, I should be perfectly fine. Change it down now. Let me be very clear, we are not magicians, right? You have been like this, like I'm 39, I've been like this for 39 years now. So if I want to change, I need time. Correct? It's not instant, it's not magic that I take a magic wand and I change you. So if I tell you to do something, I'll tell you to do some exercises, mental health exercises, don't worry. But if you do, you'll find the change. I tell people, do mindfulness, do meditation and then see the magic. People say yes, yes, yes. They'll do 2 days, tisre disa. Madam, ka disu na. How it will happen with 1 or 2 days? Right? You go to a doctor, doctor says, oh, you have put on weight, come on, you need to exercise. You need to control your diet. Don't this exercise kelo, diet kelo. Tisre sa barik zatlo. No. You have to do it regularly. So that's the second block for us. Mental health means I should be instantly fine, which is not the reality. It takes time for you to be fine. Yes?
Yeah, my name is Brian. See, we watch Western media, you know, what we see there is once you get into this counseling cycle, it's a never-ending cycle. It just keeps going on and on and on, and there is no end to it. So, I mean, that's what the media at least shows, the Western media, right? they call them shrinks. You just go there, you're strapped, and you just nothing happens after all so many sessions. So what is your?
So now let me be very frank. Now media, it is this much, it shows this much. Okay. Now counseling, when do we go to a counselor is when I really need help and I have an issue. Now let me be very frank. Now when as a psychologist or a counselor, when we deal with case, we always go to the past of the person and try to understand from where the mental block has come. Now for example, I have a major mental block that I get scared to speak to people. Okay, I have fear or phobia of talking to people, or I can't handle stress, it takes a toll on my mind. So what we do is, in a therapeutic way, we go to the person's individual personality, from where he got those traits, what are the experiences that are fixated in his mind and has become like that. So we challenge those thoughts, we challenge those mindset, that is called as cognitive distortions. And then we work on those distortions and we make the person aware that these are the things and this is how you have to work. And it's a guidance approach. Now people have another feeling that counseling is all about advice giving. It's not about advice giving. Counseling is, because see, base of psychology is individual differences. We all are different individual. You will think differently, I will think differently, you are born differently, I am born differently. Even identical twins who are born from the same egg, who are having same genes, they will also be different. So we all individuals are different. So when we are talking about counseling approach, we do not give advice that according to me you should do this. No, that is not our job. Our job is to make a person understand where is the distortion and guide through the process that yes, I am with you to work along and this is the way we are working along to handle that issue. Now counseling or therapy can go any point of time. There can be a relapse. Suppose for example in a case of schizophrenia. Now schizophrenia is one of the major mental health issue which is a personality disorder. So there will be hallucinations, delusions, okay, and in schizophrenia you need psychiatric help as well as counseling process. So there has to be a medication and a therapy, then it works out. In severe depression cases, same thing. You need, because what happens in severe depression is there is again certain chemicals which we'll be focusing on. There's an imbalance happening in your brain. So neuropsychology, and the moment that imbalance is happening, it will affect your behavior and thought processes. And once we go to a psychiatrist, what does a psychiatrist do is they give some medicines which will be like antidepressants or releasing those positive hormones in your body, which will help you to be stable and then your thought process will be normal, right? Now some people's resilience power is good, some people's resilience power is weak. Now resilience power means the way our body has immunity to fight back to the virus, same way we have resilience power in our mind. That means suppose if I am shouting at her as a teacher and to her as a teacher, same situations, she goes home and she cries about it, she takes it to her heart and she thinks about it and stops coming to school. Whereas she says, she next day she comes back to school again and she's not bothered. Now why same situations, their reactions are different? Because her resilience power is not strong to take it. I'm just giving an example, okay? So her resilience power is not there. She gets emotionally hurt very fast. Whereas she didn't take it because chalta hai bhai, upar niche to hota hai. And today resilience power among us is gone very low. That's why small incident happens, we think of ending our life. Resilience power to take, if there is a problem, there will be a problem. Now if you talk to our earlier generations, they have seen so many problems in life, isn't it? If even you talk to people who are senior citizens here today, the amount of situations they have seen, it's more difficult that they have seen, but their resilience power was strong. Our resilience power is getting deteriorated, and that's why these problems are happening. So therapy can be any point of time, sir. As far as you feel, I have experienced it personally, being practicing in this field. Some people feel good within 1 or 2 sessions, because they understand where is the distortion. Like I'll give you a very beautiful example. I had a client who had just passed out his engineering with superb marks. He was high IQ. His father was an engineer. So as soon as he passed out, he gave him an engineering project. की 10 कोटी you have to train 10 कोटीचे स्कूल बनपास जाय. So he was all happy that his father gave him the project. Now what happened was, psychologically there was a reluctancy there, because when he was going on the site, there was a supervisor who was much senior to him in work. So the moment he used to get up and from the bed to go to that for the project work, he used to get anxiety. So he didn't knew why there was an anxiety. So then he came for a counseling process. Now he was not aware why it is happening, how it is happening. Now what I made him to do one simple thing. Now I don't know also why the anxiety is coming. Now as a therapist, I need to first find out the cause of it. So I told him to go home and start writing a diary, 1 page every day. After 8 days, he came back to my center with that diary. I said, don't show it to me. I don't want to read your diary. You read the diary. This is a marker. Mark wherever you feel there's repetition of negative thoughts. That is mental blocks. So then he started reading it and he started marking the mental blocks for himself. So as he started marking, he understood one thing, that he had a fear of people who were elderly than him. So the fear that there is a supervisor waiting there, though the supervisor was good and supportive, his fear of talking to him was stopping him to complete that project. So in a therapeutic way, we dealt it, that fear of his, so that he can face the supervisor, and after some therapy sessions, within 11 months he finished the project. Getting my point? So sometimes it's our own mental blocks which stops us to do something. The moment you conquer those mental blocks and you understand where it is coming from, it can come from your parents, the environment that you have been brought up in. Okay, it can come from situations that you have experienced in life, some traumas in the childhood, or maybe as a person you have developed yourself. So if you understand your personality to the core, you get all the answers right. And then it helps you to grow as a human being. Am I right? Yes. So let's take it that therapy is beautiful. It's not like major thing that happens. It can be a casual conversation sometimes as well. That I'm feeling low, I'm talking about it, I'm absolutely fine after that. Yes?
आमच्या भयणीन आमकां सद्याक जायत्यो वस्तू सांगल्यात आनी आमी आयकलां तें सांगलां ताचेर दोन चिंतनां म्हणून येतालीं म्हज्या so far what she has shared with us. When I went to US for my studies, immediate thing in the पयल्याच म्हयन्यांनी एक गमलें म्हाका that we have cultural differences. आनी दोन वस्तू एक आमच्या क्लासीन रोखड्योच म्हाका सिद्ध जाल्यो गमून आयलें when we were doing group therapy. ग्रुप थेरपी करता आसतना पयलें म्हाका गमून आयलें आमी इंडियन्स जीं क्लासीन आसलीं तीं आमचे भयणीन सांगलां तशें वी हॅड डिफिकल्टी एक्सप्रेसींग वॉट वी एक्झॅक्टली फिलींग. सो फिलींग लँग्वेज म्हणटा ती आमकां ना. आमी तर कोणाक विचारलें कशें आसाय, हाव यू फिलींग, नायस. नायस इज अ कॉमन वर्ड. गुड, नायस. एक्झॅक्टली आमकां कितें भोगता तें सांगपाक आमचे कडेन जायना. आनी ताका लागून पयली वस्त जी आमच्या भयणीन सांगल्या तातूंतल्यान म्हज्या मनान येताली ती वी हॅव टू गेट यूज टू फिलींग लँग्वेज. आनी देखील आमची भुरगीं आसात हिंगा तरणाटी तांकां म्हजो उलोव गेट यूज टू फिलींग लँग्वेज. अ प्रोफेसर यूज टू से टेल अस देर आर ओनली 4 इमोशन्स and I like that. There are only 4 emotions: glad, sad, mad, scared. Easy to remember. Glad, sad, mad, scared. Glad, joyous feelings. So it's all other feelings are ripples of these 4 emotions. All other feelings. So feeling language that we express all are connected to these 4. So glad is joy, sad is sadness, mad is anger, and scared is fear. Okay, so हे म्हाका उगडास धरपाक बरें आमकां, पूण आमकां ती वी हॅव टू गेट यूज टू ripples of this, nuances of this. I'm feeling confused, I'm feeling anxious, anxiety related to fear, okay, and so on. So हे आमी संवय करूंक जाय. आमची उदी करून तरणाटी आसात ती आमच्या भयणीन सांगल्या ते भाशेन इफ यू आर गोइंग टू एक्सप्रेस वॉट आय एम फिलींग, आय हॅव टू लर्न फिलींग लँग्वेज. सो ही पयलें म्हज्या मनान येता थॉट. दुसरो आमच्या डिस्कशन्सांनी थंयसर अमेरिकेक एक आमकां स्पश्ट जालें म्हटल्यार वन ऑफ द ब्लॉक्स वी हॅव विथ मेंटल हेल्थ एंड with regard to counseling and other things is ओदी करून तरणाट्यांक भुरग्यांक ओदी करून चेडवांक आमकां दिसता आमी सायकोलॉजिस्टा फुड्यान गेले कावन्सिलर फुड्यान गेले जाल्यार आमकां सोयरीक येवची ना सोयरीक येवची ना जावं ती चेडवां जावं चेडे म्हाका दिसता this is whether we like it or not, this is a real fear but an irrational fear, okay, which we need to probably address through REBT probably.